Business Book Summaries.
Turning pages, changing games, where every book is a new frontier.
In Hidden Potential, Adam Grant, the best-selling author of Think Again, explores the ways we can elevate ourselves and others to unexpected heights. The book challenges our obsession with talent, innate advantages, and giftedness, arguing that focusing solely on these aspects leads us to overlook our potential for improvement and learning. Serena Williams, 23-time Grand Slam singles tennis champion, praises the book, stating it could have helped her find a more joyful path to progress. Grant provides a new framework for raising aspirations and exceeding expectations by integrating groundbreaking evidence, surprising insights, and vivid storytelling. He takes the reader on a journey from the classroom to the boardroom, the playground to the Olympics, and from underground to outer space, demonstrating how progress depends less on the amount of hard work we put in and more on the quality of our learning. The book emphasizes that growth is not solely about possessing genius, it's more about developing our character. Grant explores the importance of building character skills and motivational structures to realize our potential. He also discusses how we can design systems that create opportunities for those who have been underestimated and overlooked.
Before we delve further, remember that we regularly share new content. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel Business Book Summaries and hit the notification bell for the latest updates.
In Hidden Potential, Grant aims to shift our focus from the height of the peak we've reached to how far we've climbed to get there. By doing so, he encourages us to recognize that progress is within our reach, regardless of where we start. This empowering message provides readers with tools to cultivate their potential and helps us understand that anyone can rise to achieve greater things. When we think about achieving excellence, many people believe that outstanding talent is something you are born with. Similarly, if a skill isn't naturally ingrained in your genetic makeup, you might think you'll hit a wall in your abilities. However, research has debunked this idea. Often, those who exhibit exceptional talent as adults were not child prodigies. They usually began quite average or even below average. What set them apart wasn't their natural talent, it was their drive and motivation. When it comes to reaching your potential, being open to learning and relearning is more important than any inherent ability. Even better, there are specific learning methods that can speed up your development and help you achieve a level of mastery you never imagined possible. Best of all, these methods don't require grueling work. In this summary, we'll look at some of these methods to help you maximize your potential. We'll provide you with a roadmap for navigating the challenges you'll encounter on your journey to greatness. Are you ready to take your performance to the next level? Let's get started. The beginning of Chapter 1 highlights the crucial element in education. In Tennessee, during the late 1980s, 79 schools took part in a study examining how class size affected learning. Around 11,000 students from kindergarten to third grade were involved in this study. About 30 years later, economist Raj Chetty revisited the data to find if there were other elements that impacted the children's long-term achievements. What he discovered was surprising. The now-grown individuals who earned significantly more than their former classmates weren't necessarily those whose kindergarten teachers had prioritized cognitive skills like literacy and math. Instead, it was the children whose teachers had encouraged the development of non-academic skills such as proactiveness, sociability, determination, and discipline. Over time, kids who were given the confidence to ask questions, collaborate effectively with peers, tackle challenges head-on, and maintain focus turned out to be more successful in their professional lives than those who only excelled in cognitive abilities from an early age. This is excellent news for anyone aiming to reach their full potential because it supports the notion that character plays a fundamental role in achieving excellence. Character is the ability to prioritize what you value over your instincts or immediate reactions, even under pressure. It allows you to overcome the less helpful aspects of your personality, such as impulsiveness. In short, character isn't something you're born with, but rather a choice in how you conduct yourself. The good news is that character is something you can intentionally develop to improve your performance and success. So, how can you develop your character? One of the most important habits you can adopt is embracing mistakes. That's right, making mistakes is one of the best ways to unlock your potential. In many cultures, children are taught that mistakes are harmful because the number of mistakes can impact their grades. However, this view is a major disadvantage. What's far more valuable is getting used to the discomfort and awkwardness of being unprepared and lacking knowledge. For example, if you want to learn a new language, the thought of stumbling through a conversation with limited vocabulary might make you uneasy, leading you to study alone until you feel confident enough to practice in public. But in reality, you may never truly feel ready. A more effective approach is to dive in and accept that making a few or even many mistakes isn't a big deal. Embracing discomfort facilitates accelerated learning and growth. Developing your character skills is the life raft that will help you navigate the challenges of learning, and every small success will keep you motivated on your journey to realizing your full potential. Chapter 2. Be a human sponge. Around 500 million years ago, volcanic eruptions wreaked havoc on Earth, wiping out about 75% of species. Among the survivors was the humble sea sponge. These creatures thrive by filtering nutrients from the water through their outer walls and expelling what they don't need. They're impressively resilient. If damaged or bitten, they can often regrow their soft bodies. Their adaptability allows them to live for over 2,000 years. To tap into your hidden potential, you need to channel your inner sea sponge, absorb, filter, and adapt as you work toward mastering your chosen skill. Your ability to do this is a choice, distinct from your genes or the opportunities you were born into. Let's delve into the journey of one high achiever to explore this further. Melody Hobson was the youngest of 6 children raised by a single mother in Chicago. Her mother struggled to make ends meet, and the family often lacked basic utilities. Melody faced challenges in school from an early age, but she took control of her potential. Today, the Ivy League graduate is the co-CEO of a respected investment firm and one of Time's 100 most influential people. How did Melody achieve such success despite her challenging start? First, she became skilled at absorbing. In lessons, lectures, and events, she asked insightful questions and took thorough notes. Every interaction was a chance to learn. Second, Melody learned how to filter. She recognized that working smart was as important as working hard. By carefully assessing opportunities and filtering out those that weren't beneficial, she could make quality decisions that advanced her toward her goals. Finally, Melody adapted. A mentor pointed out her tendency to dominate every room, which, while admirable, left little room for others to contribute. Exercising her strength of character, Melody took this feedback to heart and adjusted her behavior. She began showing interest in her peers and the experts she met. This development of pro-social skills opened the door to new collaborations and opportunities. Chapter 3. Embrace imperfection. In academic settings, the pursuit of perfection often drives learning. Students are aware they will be graded, and these grades reflect how close they are to perfection. This approach can push students to memorize and repeat information without truly understanding it. However, perfectionism is only beneficial when dealing with familiar or linear problems. In real-world situations, life is rarely this straightforward. Research has shown that perfectionists do not have an advantage when it comes to acquiring skills or achieving mastery. In fact, they often struggle more than their peers. Perfectionists can get bogged down by focusing on trivial details, avoiding challenges outside their comfort zone, and limiting their ability to expand their skills and experience. It's important to remember that making mistakes is crucial for learning, but this contradicts a perfectionist's instincts. Perfectionists tend to be extremely self-critical and overwhelmed by shame when they fail, making it hard for them to identify valuable learning opportunities and further shrinking their comfort zones. Even if you're not a perfectionist, fear of making mistakes or the unease of trying something new can hold you back. But you can combat this by aiming for specific standards rather than striving for perfection. For instance, if you want to become a skilled diver despite having limited natural ability, you might begin by mastering a few basic dives. As the dives become more challenging, you may start to feel hesitant and come up with excuses about the conditions not being ideal. This kind of behavior can lead to performance plateau. To avoid this, work with your coach to set realistic and specific goals. Diving technique is scored out of 10, so you could aim for a score of 6 on an easier dive, 4 on a more challenging one, and 0 on a completely new dive. After each attempt, consult your coach to identify ways to improve your score by even half a point. This approach shifts your focus to progress, allowing you to appreciate any improvement, no matter how small. Use lower scores as motivation and remember that the goal is growth, not perfection. By gradually raising your standards as your skills develop, you can work towards reaching your full capabilities. Chapter 4. Progress through play. Evelyn Glennie is a professional percussionist from rural Scotland who faced initial rejection when she applied to London's Royal Academy of Music. Despite this, she became the world's first full-time solo percussionist, earning 3 Grammy Awards and a knighthood from Queen Elizabeth II. Evelyn has been profoundly deaf since childhood, yet her unique approach to learning music demonstrated remarkable adaptability and a love for her craft. One key aspect of Evelyn's journey that unlocked her potential was her joy in the process. Evelyn enjoyed honing her musical abilities so much that practicing never felt like a chore. It was pure play. Although we often think mastery requires hard work and intense focus, incorporating play into learning can lead to better long-term results. In mastering a challenging skill, the number of hours you dedicate matters less than how you spend your time. Psychologists describe a state known as harmonious passion, where you are driven by the pleasure of learning rather than a fixation on the outcome. When you tap into this passion, you ease pressure on yourself, making it easier to access the state of flow, where you are completely absorbed in what you're doing. This state is optimal for learning. So, how do you tap into a harmonious passion? The key is through deliberate play. Deliberate play is the sweet spot between structured practice and free play. At this intersection, developing new skills becomes enjoyable and fulfilling. Deliberate play offers you the freedom to experiment, adapt, and generate energy while still following a framework that supports learning. For Evelyn, this involved changing instruments to prevent boredom, playing pieces backward as a challenge, and taking breaks to stay fresh. The quality of her practice, not just the quantity, was what mattered. Research shows that this approach yields better results across various fields and industries. For instance, medical students who engage in improv comedy improve their diagnostic abilities. Humor and play in workplace training accelerate the learning process, while salespeople who use role play tend to exceed their targets. Deliberate play can bring enjoyment to the more tedious or challenging aspects of learning, which are often areas you might avoid. Paying attention to these areas is essential if you want to unlock your full potential. So, instead of pushing yourself too hard toward excellence, try infusing some fun into the process. Chapter 5. Flip your thinking about stagnation. When we begin learning something new, we often experience rapid progress at first. However, as we approach mastery, the gains become smaller and more incremental, often to the point where we don't even notice them. At this stage, it can feel like we've hit a wall, but in reality, we've just run out of momentum. Research by cognitive scientists Wayne Gray and John Lindstad has uncovered something encouraging about progress. When we hit stagnation while mastering a skill, there's often a brief period of decline before our performance improves again. This backtracking is a normal part of the learning process and actually helps fuel momentum to push beyond previous boundaries. If you think about it, this approach makes sense. The way to break through a plateau is to let go of your current plans and try a new strategy. Trying something new may initially hurt your performance, but it provides an opportunity to explore new methods, seek guidance from mentors, and discover techniques that can serve you better in the long run. For example, if the star player on a basketball team is injured, the team's performance may suffer while they're sidelined. However, when the player returns, the team often performs better than before. This is because the rest of the team has had the chance to rethink strategies and rely on their strengths in different ways, laying the foundation for greater success. Now that you understand the reality of plateauing and stagnation, you can recognize it as a signal to change your approach or direction. The first step is to seek new information, which could come from a book, online lecture, or an expert in your field. For instance, if you're an oil painter struggling with clumpy paint, you might seek guidance from a senior artist familiar with the best solvents to thin your paint. It's ideal to have 2 or 3 mentors to offer advice on overcoming your challenges. Different people have varying strengths, weaknesses, and expertise, so gathering input from multiple sources can provide diverse perspectives. However, remember not to follow their instructions blindly. Absorb, filter, and adapt the information you gather to suit your own needs. There are many paths to the same destination, so be a brave explorer and try new approaches to mastery. Ultimately, your attitude and approach play a more significant role in mastering skills than your natural abilities. In summary, you can uncover your potential and achieve excellence beyond your expectations by focusing on developing your character to support learning, overcoming fear of failure, and embracing the habit of play. This will enable you to access flow states and navigate through plateaus and opportunities for growth. In Hidden Potential, Adam Grant reveals that mastering skills and achieving excellence depend more on your attitude and approach than innate talent. The key lies in developing your character to support learning, embracing play, and being proactive in absorbing, filtering, and adapting information. When you face stagnation, it's essential to seek new methods, mentors, and techniques to push beyond plateaus. Deliberate play allows you to learn in a fun, engaging way, leading to better outcomes across fields. Letting go of perfectionism and focusing on growth helps you value incremental improvements. Be a brave explorer, willing to make mistakes and try new strategies to unlock your full potential and reach levels of excellence you never thought possible.
We're keen to hear your thoughts on our content. Feel free to share your opinions or recommend books in the comments section. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel Business Book Summaries and hit the notification bell to stay updated with our latest summaries. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.